All right, Stephan, we've just filled the room with salespeople and leaders, sales leaders at dealerships wanting to get a little more expertise from you. And so my question to you for this audience is, what do you feel separates a good salesperson from a great salesperson?
Well, that's a very good question. And it's dear to my heart. I went through all the spectrums of sales from young to where I'm now experienced. A good salesperson has decent product knowledge, uh, knows the features, knows the dimension of the product, has good presentation skills. And most good salespeople, we always say you have two ears and one mouth, listen twice as much as you speak. So they behave that way and they're consultative and they're basically helping the consumer that hasn't shopped for appliances to navigate through the jungle of the household appliance industry. They follow up, they have, as I said, good presentation skills and help the client to make a decision. A great salesperson uh, is very well prepared. When that conversation happens, they have a measuring tape with you, their phone is off. They greeted the customer, they offered a cup of coffee or water. They greet the children that might be with the salespeople. They make notes of the children's names. The salespeople uh, uh, note, you know, this is my mother-in-law, this is my father-in-law, this is my builder, this is my designer. All of these people's names have to make it on a notepad or in the brain if they're that smart. I always have a notepad, a pen, and a measuring tape for sure, and the phone has to be off. And then we go through the showroom. That salesperson knows the showroom top to bottom, does an intelligent tour of it, and has somewhat developed over the years a way how to present the whole kitchen package. You know, some people start with refrigeration, some start with cooking, but it is important to stay on track and to develop a particular approach of how to go through that world of appliance. And it should be a consultation. This is not a training, this is not a teaching, this is not a feature dump. This has to be very light, very going to spend a lot of money with you, and they got to enjoy that. And that is, I think, the art that you could encounter when you encounter a good salesperson. They know what they're doing, they listen very well, and out of the information that they extract through that discussion, they make the proper decisions for that client. You come away with one option ideally, because then you have the sale, or you come away with two options. And the follow up of a great salesperson is in an email, and that is exactly scheduled the same way you did the showroom walkthrough. That is for me the difference.
The huge difference. And the two things that struck me that you said was, one was calling it an art. A lot of people don't call sales an art, but it really is. To get from good to great, it has that same feel, and you never achieve it. Like, you always need to be working on it, you always need to be improving. And
We
the other
learn
thing
every
that
day.
Yes. And the other thing that struck me was, make sure you get the names of everyone who's walked in the showroom and everyone else
Yeah.
involved, and speak to them by name. I mean, there was a Zig Ziglar, a famous salesperson, who used to say the people's favorite sound in the world is the sound of their name. So if you can
Yeah.
use their name through the sales, they're going to love that. And that we also know, when customers come to the showroom, they're often resistant. They assume that we're just going to try to sell you the most expensive thing on the floor. We're not going to listen. So you have to counteract that by building some trust and building some
Yeah.
relationships. I think that's the exact tip, and I like that. So the next question I have for you is, you did already mention the follow-up on that sale, but what
Mhm.
sorts of follow-ups do you feel like salespeople should be doing in general to help build some long-term relationships?
Well, it's very important to say that you follow up and that you follow up by that time. For example, if you do a full presentation, you come away with all that information, then you have to make a quotation and send them a very pleasant email. And I like to schedule that exactly in the sequence as they viewed the appliances, uh, mentioning all the names. If they had their children with them at the showroom, it was very nice to meet so and so, and glad that they had a good time. Um but very important is in that follow up that you resolve all the problems that might come with it. They might have not thought about installation at all. They were just thinking about buying appliances, not knowing that panel ready appliances and certain more luxury appliances have to be installed by an appliance professional. So I propose that appliance professional in the follow up. I will also always ask, do you work with a builder? Do you work with a cabinet dealer? Do you work with a designer? Um, how I become more voluminous as a salesperson, or what we call the book of business that we build up, is to make connections not only with the client, but also with their designer, with their builder, or with their architect, and find out who those people are and approach those people after you have done a good job with client A. What other clients are they dealing with? And that is, I think, over the years, how you build a book of business, by having these collaborations develop between all those appliance professionals and services. Because you will not only sell product that always works fine, you will have service calls, and you will need to have your network to resolve issues at the end as well. And if the client knows that they are taken care of from that point of view, I think your chance of becoming great is a little bit higher.
I completely agree. And I really like that you really kind of brought home the importance of that follow up email with the customer. And of course, follow up phone calls. But that follow up email could be the difference between closing the sale and not closing the sale, because they may not be only visiting you. So they might have had a great
Yeah.
experience within the showroom, but then afterwards they've hit another showroom or other things have happened in their life. They get that follow up email with a little more information, really kind of helping close that deal can make all the difference. And then, of course, finding out what pre sale influencers they're working with, the builders and the designers, cabinet shops, is huge for building your book of business. It takes time, but that book of business can really give your sales a foundation.
Yeah, absolutely.